What is going on? And welcome to Take on the World with
John Nari.
Mike D.
Mm.
What's going on, bud?
What's up, dude?
Not too much.
Yeah, how's it been going?
It sucks.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Oh no.
My first week back to work.
Yeah. Lame-o. Man, that sounds really loud.
Is it? You want me to turn it down a little bit?
Yeah, I think I might be overriding the system.
In your headphones, it sounds loud. How's that?
Yeah, it's good. Good.
I'm going to turn you down a little bit too. Because
Maybe just a little tweak up.
I'll be picky.
Well, I want to lean away.
move it that way a little bit.
Know
Move
what
it this
I'm
way.
saying?
Move it that way a little bit. Move it this way. Anyhow, so
Bougie.
yeah, my first week back to work, and I come home every day. My hand hurts because I can't go from acupuncture anymore.
Or it would probably cost an arm and a leg if you did it on your own. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't go to the VA from acupuncture. I'm going to try this week. I made an appointment for right after work, but I have lots of stuff to do on Wednesdays.
Man, I don't know about acupuncture. I always thought, I just think of the Family Guy where Brian goes to get acupuncture and he's like, what? It was like a blind guy doing it or whatever. And he's like, he kept all his acupuncture needles next to all the poison in the closet. And he's like, now which one was it? And he's like, why do you keep all the poison in with your acupuncture stuff?
No, it's nothing like that. This is battlefield acupuncture. It's it actually helps because I notice a lot in my knees and my hand and my back when I skip a week. And I skipped a week, and my knees and my hand have been killing me. So, but we all suffer what we must.
Well, maybe I'll try it someday.
So, what they don't puncture. They don't put the needles in my hand or my knees. They put them in my ears. It's 5
Those tiny little ears.
Yep, my tiny little ears. It's 5 points in each ear. They put them in a certain order. They remove them in a certain order, and I keep them in for 15 minutes. Or there's these little buds you can put in. They put them in. You take them with you. If you feel pain, you can rub them in a certain order, and it helps. I tried those once, but I had more relief with the traditional acupuncture, which is we put the needles in, twist them down, and yeah, I found that to be very, very helpful. I was skeptical at first. Even though I was skeptical, I tried it. So that was stepped out of my comfort box.
Okay.
And I figured, what the fuck? The amount of pain that I was dealing with.
Yeah, what do you get to lose?
I have nothing to lose.
It either works or it doesn't.
Even though I hate needles.
But they only like go in like a little bit.
They're tiny. And my problem is with injections, not necessarily needles. So
and also I'm sure you get this. Well, you go tattoos.
Right, because my problems with injections, not necessarily needles.
So like I'll watch the tattoo going in.
Oh, I love watching.
Yeah, like okay.
I
less talky, more worky.
I enjoy the pain of a tattoo, so I'm weird.
Yeah.
But I was just having a conversation with somebody at the jail about and they welcomed me back, and we were talking, and we were.
Do you want to relive the dump truck up front?
No, we're not talking about the dump truck. We're not talking.
Let's just try this one more time.
Let's
try for good for like just.
We're not talking about the motherfucking dump truck.
Why is he in the car shaking?
We're not talking about the dump truck. We're talking about. We were having a conversation about people who work in corrections. Someplace in their psyche, there's some kind of deviant of some sort.
No,
absolutely.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Because you have to be comfortable with violence to work in a jail.
You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right. So not just violence, but just even if you're not comfortable with violence, you have to be comfortable with being comfortable with it.
I wouldn't say my career has necessarily been violent at all. It was just like.
You didn't see any fights?
Maybe a couple.
You didn't have to break any fights up?
Not really.
Really? So you're a pussy.
A big one.
Okay, my bad. I take that statement back.
Okay. Hold on. I just think you have to be uncomfortable because I'm around a lot of fucking hardcore people, or just like people that I don't know, like are different than the normal. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand what you're saying.
Walk of life people, and it can get a little overwhelming at some points.
I absolutely understand what you're saying. What I'm talking about is, so I'm now.
Not necessarily now, because I've been there for a while, so I know how to hold myself.
Right. So you're comfortable with it now.
Yeah.
There's no discomfort level at all. So at some point, your psyche said, I'm okay with this.
Sure.
Okay. So I go back to when I started in 1989, when things were much different, when jails were very, very violent, where there were many direct assaults on officers, where there were brutal fights, where I was in situations where I had to defend myself. But
And hey, listen, let's not say that wouldn't happen again.
right,
Like, you don't know.
you never know. You never know. And honestly, that's a fear of mine now, because with my hand, I don't.
I mean, I could walk.
I have to
go,
handle it different.
I remember, this is kind of stupid, but you know, just like I went into weld a bunk the one time, and I don't remember what unit was on now, H unit, J unit, whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, yo, I took an Amy and I said, help me carry this welder upstairs. And he kept pushing the welder as we're like halfway down the stairs. I'm like, are you trying to fucking trip me? I was like, if you knock me down these stairs, I will fucking weld your fucking head shut. Or whatever the fuck I said. I don't know what I said to him. But I was like,
and now you'd get in trouble for saying that.
yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm like, what are you doing? But you can physically feel him like pushing on the welder as I'm halfway up the fucking stairs going down.
Right. I hate that shit.
But you know, as far as like I've been to like calls, well, that's my kind of MO, not MO, but like, you know, the few I've been to, being a maintenance officer, I was always the last one there because I was working on something.
Put your tools away, blah, 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 blah.
Really, I lost all my tools running to the call. So there'd be like a trail of tools, like, yo, is this your hat? Is this your whatever? But yeah. And, you know, I've seen guys get tuned up. But anyways, you know, it's the whatever.
See, because I've worked on the floor longer than you did. And I've been doing this for a long, long time. And even after I moved out to the position I'm in now, I was still a CO. Like, I mean, you're still a CO, but I was still considered a custody officer. So I was still required to go to calls because I didn't have tools in my hand when I was inside.
Yeah. Well, we were told, you know, you're security first. So your tools are set aside and you're secure, you got to run.
Right. But it got to the point where if you had tools, you weren't.
Right. Or if you have an escort, you know,
if you escort, you can't. But if you got tools out, by the time you put your tools away and head,
it's done.
It's done because everything takes place in a short period of time.
30 seconds.
Right. But what I'm saying is, before working in a prison, I had a reputation for fighting. I had a reputation for some anger issues, and I would be the first one to jump into a fight. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed fighting.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's my deviancy. Like, if someone punches me, it doesn't really bother me that much because it's like, so I've been hit before. I've been hit by people bigger than you and harder than you. And so, like, that's kind of my comfort level with violence is extremely high, which is probably what led me to professional wrestling and training for a boxing match and all that other stuff. But that was the point of the conversation. You have to have something in you. And what brought it up was the advice I always give someone when they first start the jail. You'll know within the next 2 to 6 months if this job is for you. And if it's not for you, get out. Because if it's not for you, you're putting yourself and other people at risk just for a paycheck. And that's not good because you could end up hurt. Someone else could end up hurt. You can have that on your conscience. And I had at least one person take that advice and then thank me for it later.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. You're right. You're 100% right.
So what I'm saying is there's something wrong with all of us.
No, I think there's just something in you. Little dog in you, likes to fight, likes to scrap.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I just haven't been in a, you see me, like, especially if I got a little drink or two in me, I'm not afraid to get hit. I might talk stupid, but
no, you definitely don't back down. I know that.
No, I kind of enjoy the pain. I like to I don't mind a little smack to the mouth.
Early in the days of this show, me and Johnny went nose to nose.
Yeah, we did.
We were both for snooker. We were both talking stupid and
yeah. that was just kind of like, mano y mano, like not wanting to fight each other on the street, but like,
No.
just the little machismo
Yeah, that's
between the
all.
both of us.
That's all it was.
You're puffing your chest, I'm puffing my little half chest, knowing damn well I would get smothered into the ground
And we both laughed about
if
it
you
the next
slam
day.
me down in the ground.
We both laughed
But
about it the next day.
I would not, like, I'm a glutton for pain.
Anyway, I don't even know why we got on that topic.
I have.
Oh, because I'm back at the jail,
That's right. Yeah.
which sucks. Because
So I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm some kind of fucking guru, karate guru, or whatever. I've had my ass kicked plenty of fucking times.
oh, so have I.
I've been, whatever. I'm not here to say that I will, flatten you into the ground, whatever. But
I'm getting too old for that shit.
I do know once. I'm not trying to toot my horn, but if I get angry, I go into like ape mode and I will lose my shit and I don't, whatever. So, anyways, thank God I haven't had to do that because I probably would have to answer that. Why did you rip his nose off and why were you like after the whole thing was done? You were peeing on him. What I did? What?
Why were you getting matches out on? Burn him. What's that about?
So
Anyway,
I do believe in the trying to talk to somebody and calm them down. That has worked a bunch of times for me.
I can do that, but in my younger years, I also had a gift of talking to someone and making them throw a punch.
Goading them in.
Oh yeah,
Sure, but I mean,
always with a
that's-
smile on my face.
Yeah, that's not the way it is now.
No, it's not.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, no,
you'll wind up in jail yourself.
Since I've worked in a jail over the years, I progressively got better and better at diffusing situations. Till now, I could walk into a middle of a fight and stop it immediately without throwing a punch.
I don't think I could do that.
Absolutely, I can.
I'd have to go hands on. I think. I don't know.
Not anymore. I don't have to, because as you get older, you don't want to fight anymore.
But I'll say this: it's been a minute since I've gone hands on. I don't want to get stabbed. I don't want to get slammed off the ground.
No, that's happened.
I'm too old for that. I would like it, preferably you. I could quietly get behind you and like choke you out.
Can't do that.
Or just something easy on my end,
It's not allowed.
so I don't get hurt. And then there's minimal report writing.
Yeah, except anyway. Speaking of machismo, that brings us to our topic.
All right.
So since I'm back to work, I was driving down 61 and I saw something.
Fucking, we should do an episode on that goddamn road.
No, I don't want to get pissed off again. Anyway, I was enjoying my ride to work and I'm driving along and I see something and I'm like, damn, I love that. Right there, right before Shuey.
Cracker Barrel?
After Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
I do love Cracker Barrel, though. Now that you mention it. My last pre-back to work meal was at Cracker Barrel with Tony T.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we went to lunch.
Okay.
So I was driving down and I saw this rat rod sitting there right by Candy's.
Oh, okay.
The ice cream place.
Yeah.
It's stretched. It's chopped. It's beastly ugly. I love it.
Right.
And I thought, and we started talking about it, and you said, oh, we should do a podcast. And I'm like, you're damn right we should, because I don't know where rat rods came from, who started making them, why they started making them. And as I delved into my research, I found out you can't talk about rat rods unless you talk about hot rods.
Hot rods.
So we're going to talk about hot rods first and the differences between them. And in the middle between the two, there are also street rods, which are completely different as well. And I'm not a huge motorhead car guy. Me
neither.
I know what I like. I know I can do body work. I cannot do engine work.
I always said that's me on that meme where there's a picture, there's a smoking engine, the hood's up, and the guy's standing there looking at the engine, and he's, yep, that's an engine.
Yeah. I'm a little better than that.
I've learned a few things, but like I'm not gonna like pop your engine open in the middle of the highway while it's smoking and be like, well, you need this, that, and the other.
Like back in the day, I could take a carburetor off and clean it, and I could do valve covers and
I can tell you what.
shit like that. But that's it. That's my extent.
I've taken apart a couple old weed whackers and wound up with like a dozen extra parts at the end, and they never ran after that.
No, I'm able to fix chainsaws and weed whackers, and I know I took I rejetted the carbs on my one bike like 4 times. The first time it took me like 3 hours because I took a picture at each fucking step.
Yeah.
And then the second time I had to do it because I kept on changing stuff on the bike and upgrading it, and every time it needed a rejet. And the second time I did it, it took me about 45 minutes. After that, I could do it in 15, 20 minutes. So I pick stuff up easy. But as you know, I can do brakes, calipers, stuff like that.
You help me with the brakes and rotors. But it's like we can't do all like the computer shit.
No.
Like it just gets too much.
Well, we don't need to do computer shit when we're talking about street rods.
Right.
And,
It's all
and
like
hot rods and rat rods because these are all old cars. So the hot rod culture started as like a mix of like kind of DUI, like I want more speed and a little bit of rebellion. It kind of took shape in the 20s and 30s in Southern California. Nobody knows exactly where it started. It was young drivers beginning to modify cars and then racing them on a lake bed, open stretches. Eventually it turned into street races, I guess. Kind of began with backyard mechanics, just stripping down old Fords and other affordable cars. And when I say old ones, I'm talking about, Model Ts and they were taking them apart, putting bigger engines in it, better tires, better suspension.
just seeing how fast you can push that thing.
Yeah.
Whatever we can do to it.
Yeah. And a hot rod basically is made to go fast and look good. The Depression kind of really shaped it because what they were doing is they were buying really cheap cars and the money wasn't there. So it made like you couldn't just take it to a shop and say, "Hey,"
There were no shops.
Like someone like, well, there were shops, but someone like me couldn't say, "Hey, could you build an engine for me?"
Right. There weren't shops doing what you wanted them to do.
Right. Because I didn't have the money to do that. I wouldn't have the money to have someone build it. So there wasn't nobody doing it because nobody had the money to have someone do it. So you had to work on it yourself. These were farm kids.
I'm gonna trim this cylinder out so it's a little bit bigger.
Right.
Like whatever.
These are farm kids with lathes in their barns and doing all this work.
Files and shit.
Yeah. And then they went into car clubs and then you had your races. But it really took a boom post-war World War II. And post-World War II, you had the vets coming back and kind of like nobody diagnosed PTSD and all that. They called it shell shock and whatnot. But these guys were coming back and some of them didn't adjust. Just like the guys coming back today. The vets coming back today didn't adjust. And so they needed something to focus on. So some of the vets coming back turned to hot rods. And other vets coming back turned to, what was the other thing to turn to?
MC clubs.
Motorcycle clubs, which is another episode. Another episode we're going to do coming up because I am in a motorcycle club, the Blue Knights. We do
like-minded guys that were kind of misunderstood, didn't have...
well, we're not misunderstood. The Blue Knights are we're the good guys.
We can't go to Thanksgiving.
We go out and we help the community any way we can, and we raise funds for that, and that's what the Blue Knights do, and we do a good job of it. The motorcycle clubs, when they first started, were just like-minded guys getting out and riding together, and people who understood each other, and that's how they started. Same thing with hot rodding. It was guys who understood each other because they were coming after World War II. After they came back from World War II, they couldn't. Some couldn't relate to other people, which I can understand. Like, it is what it is. So then you had 1948. You had Hot Rod Magazine help legitimize the hobby and spread it like kind of nationwide. Then it like picked up everywhere. So that was shortly after World War II. So like boom, you had this big boom. So it became more of a car culture, and that's where you started having more speed shops and whatnot that were selling pre-made parts, and guys were having engines built, or they were buying pre-made parts for the engine. You still had a whole lot of guys building their own stuff because there's hot rod purists out there that will build their own engines, but there's a lot of them that don't have that money.
I would love to sit in on that, and that's one thing I always said I wish I would have learned was how to work on cars.
So you could say hot rod culture was born when young builders in South California turned to cheap old cars into fast, personal, rebellious machines. And it was about rebellion. It was about rebelling against their parents. Their parents had well, see, another thing was, and where hot rod culture made a difference in the United States, when car companies made cars, it only came in one color, black. It came off the assembly line in black.
I'm okay with that.
But the hot rod culture, they didn't want a black car. They wanted something that stood out. They wanted their car to be unique to them, and that's where colored paints came in too. So that was the rebellion part. Like, I don't want what the company wants me to have. I want what I want to have. So you'd have to say if that was the rebellious nature, because like you watch Happy Days and whatnot, and you see, oh gosh, jolly golly gee, come out and see my hot rod. You would have to say that.
See, now I would have never thought that. Like when you watched that, I would think like red was the most popular. Red, blue, white,
yellow.
Yellow
Was huge.
Fuck yellow.
Throwing
My whole
flames.
goddamn bathroom is yellow.
Throwing red flames on a yellow car.
Oh, well, I can see that. No, I meant like the standard coming out.
Oh no, off the assembly line?
Yeah.
Black.
I would have never thought black. I would have thought red, blue, your standard Roy G. Biv colors.
Look at the Ford assembly line. Watch the Model Ts coming off. Every one of them's black. Every one of them's black. And they didn't have to give you options because it was
damn.
Here's a
I
car.
would prefer black.
Here's a car that nobody else has at the time. So you're showing off just having a car. It wasn't until cars became more and more popular where people wanted options.
I wonder if black was like the cheapest color, because it's probably like a coal derivative. Like we just crush up some coal, readily available, whatever. Mix it in with some paint.
They might have been matte black. I don't know.
Matte black, whatever.
Could have just been a primer. I don't know cars that well. So
Or
if somebody out there
yellow, I know this is kind of going off a long limb here.
It's going off a way long limb.
But
because you interrupted me to do it. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Why you got to reach across? Why you got to reach across the mouth to flick my titty?
But back in like the Renaissance times, or in that day, yellow was the cheapest color because it was piss. Like people would piss in a bucket or whatever, and they would collect that and they would dye their clothes with it. It was the cheapest color.
That's disgusting.
It is, but that's what it was. I swear to God, honest to God.
Well, that's why in Egyptian times, purple was the most expensive color.
It was like crushed up something.
Yes, crushed up something. I don't remember what it was.
Crushed up, yeah.
Cranberries. I don't know. So, if anybody knows why black was the first color for...
I'm going with coal.
Shut the fuck up and let me finish.
Go ahead again.
You can interrupt me again.
Mm-hmm. Do I not have a say on this podcast?
You do. I'm trying to ask our viewers.
We'll harken back to our like 5th episode.
to comment why they think black was the most popular color off the assembly line.
I'm going with why it's
coal. It was coal.
I'm kidding. I was kidding. I'm not kidding, but I was going to say it again.
Coal's the right answer.
Coal. It's probably not that.
It's not
like
that.
Oil. Earl.
So if hot rods were the rebellious of the youth and the...
Dude, I feel like tucking a pack of Marlboro Reds up in my sleeve.
And rolling it up.
And just fucking getting a pair of Chuck Taylors and jeans.
We still did that in the 80s, dude.
And driving down the fucking the railroad tracks to find a dead body.
They walked down the railroad tracks.
Not all of them. The younger ones did.
You're talking about Lean on Me?
Yeah.
They walked down.
No, Stand By Me.
Stand By. I got that wrong as a trivia answer too.
Did you?
Because I said Lean on Me, not Stand By Me.
But the older guy, they drove down the tracks, and then the kid pulled out the 45 on him.
Was that Pony Boy?
I don't remember. What
Wrong movie.
Yeah, no, Pony Boy. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I do. That sounds really familiar.
Stay golden, Pony Boy.
Oh, fuck. I should know what
The
that
Outsiders.
was. Anywho.
So, if
that's how I feel right now.
If street rods were rebellious for their time, rat rods were hot rodders' bad little brother. The rat rod was influenced by bikers, greasers, rockabilly, and punk culture.
Hell yeah.
They were bold, unconcerned with perfection or appearance. They were all about function not form. They were about going fast and building cheap.
I think if you guys have ever seen a rat rod going down the street, it's kind of rare and it's really cool.
They do.
Fucking email us at whatever.com.
Take on the world 411 at gmail.com.
Yeah. Take on the world 411.com.
No, you just fucked it up.
You know what? Just keep the thought to yourself. Don't email us.
Some dude in India is going to get an email and they're going to be, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, I heard you applied for a $35,000 loan. Takeontheworld.com. I told you I just want to get any emails for now or calls constantly, nonstop all day that somebody must apply for a loan. And it's like number, different number. You apply for a $35,000 loan, $75,000 loan. We'll give you blah, blah, blah.
I just put your name on a gay porn site. That's it.
It's rough out there, folks.
Nothing to
It's
do with loans.
rough. It is rough. If I get my rat rod and run them all the fuck over, I fucking would.
So rat rods grew out of the old hot rod tradition, but they pushed back against the polished, expensive, perfect finish side of car culture to its rebellious core, where they had no money. They would
Dude,
go to.
this makes a lot of sense.
They went to junkyards, and they pulled parts from junkyards, and they pulled frames from junkyards, and they pulled chassis from junkyards, and they built their car. And the only thing they put money into was the motor. Everything else was done by hand. They were basically Frankenstein cars.
But like, if you can relate this to music, it's like the exact same pushback from like doo-wop and like all that, music that you talk to some boomers are like, oh, I couldn't stand that stupid music. My dad's one of them.
Couldn't stand doo-wop.
He hates it.
Okay. So next time we go out, we got to do a doo-wop for him. Doo-wop.
You think like just like a rich kid cruising around in a beautiful new car, which is probably beautiful, right? And then now you got a kid not too well off, and he's like, well, screw it. I'm going to make my own fucking car. And why wouldn't you? I would too. I'd do it right now if I knew how to.
I'd love to build a rat rod.
I told you my one car that if I ever hit it rich, a 1932 Ford Coupe.
Chop the top.
Just rat rod the thing. I don't care. Yeah. Whatever.
So the roots of the rat rod go back to the 40s and 50s. Is when working class builders made cars from whatever they could scrounge. They would get surplus parts, junkyard parts. They'd fabricate their own parts. And some of the fabrication methods were actually pretty cool. You can see those fabrication methods still being used in like custom motorcycle builds and custom car builds, where they actually manufacture a door just from what the door used to look like.
Right.
They'll roll they have machines that'll roll the edges, but they're not like they're mechanical machines, not electric machines.
Right.
Like they're all hand rolled. And actually when they come up on my YouTube feed, I watch those things all the time.
Or you punch it into a CNC machine, and plus you have that plus a fabricator that'll finish it off.
Well, if you had they didn't have CNC machines back in the 40s.
Well, no, they didn't, but
now CNC is less expensive than it was, but a lot of people still don't have that. So that's like you and I don't have the money to build a hot rod from scratch, but we probably would have the money to buy an old chassis for $500.
Yeah.
Buy an old frame for $500, and the most we'd have to put out was for the motor, which that's where the money's going to be.
Right. And that's the most important part.
Because you and I are not motor guys. We can't build one from scratch. We can't take an old motor and rehab it and do whatever's got to be done.
But
we'd call Chuck.
I'm sure that was just about to say that if we know people, we got into the right circles, we'd be set up.
Well, I know the one dude at work has it's not necessarily a rat rod, but he's got a custom truck with the rust patina on it. It looks, well, the first time I saw it, I'm like, damn, I love that truck.
Oh, that's really cool.
So by the 1980s and 90s, there was like an explosion for rat rods. Like it became the thing in the 80s and 90s, like huge. Some builders started turning the tough look into a deliberate statement. Instead of hiding rust and dents and weld marks and mismatched parts, they made it part of the design. So the patina was a huge thing. They would actually take a good part and make it look like it was patinaed with the paint job and acid and whatnot, and they would make it look like it was a rusty part and then clear coat it. And I think that's what they do with this truck. But like, I love that look because you want a sturdy part. You don't want it rusted through.
Right, yeah.
But you still want that look.
Yeah, it's like that illusion that it's all messed up, but it's not. It's put together.
Rat Rodders are very anti-mainstream custom car. They said, we don't need no chrome or expensive paint or perfect body work to make something cool. That attitude made them especially appealing to people who like cars with an edge of personality or a little defiance. And that's kind of me. Like, I like that. Now, some of these cars, I could never get in and out because they chop them so low. And like that one down at Candy's, you can't drive that in Pennsylvania.
Right.
You hit a pothole, you're going to get hung up on it. You go over a speed bump, you're going to get hung up on it. That thing sits so, look at it when you go by. It sits so low. But that motor exposed with the open wheels in the front, oh, so beautiful. Rat Rods also carry a blue-collar identity. It doesn't look like it was built in a garage. It doesn't look like it was built in a professional shop. It looks like it was built in a barn. A lot of times, they do come with their, like, they'll get like a Ford Model A Roadster, and they'll chop the top. That means they'll cut right through the windows and lower the whole top down, so you have these tiny little slits for windows. And then they'll do something with the frame. What's it called? What do they do with the frame?
Chop top?
No, it's
chop low, chop side,
chop suey.
Chop suey. They
do something with the frame. There's a certain thing they do with the frame.
Cream of some young guy.
No. And we're back. I finally found what I was talking about, a channeled frame.
Channel frame.
So what they do with a channeled frame is they actually take the body and they lower it down over the frame. So the body of the vehicle actually sits lower than the frame itself. They move the floor pan up. And so it decreases your room inside. It decreases leg room, headroom, everything. And it makes the car seem lower without changing anything in the suspension. And that's what gives it like a distinct, like low look. Although the one over at the Candy's, I don't think does that, because you could see the frame, and the frame's almost dragging on the ground. So Rat Rods in the broader custom world of cars revive the idea that the car can be a personal statement, not just a restored collectible. And they turned the unfinished into a style choice that made rebellion a part of the aesthetic. So I asked, so this is where I started asking Perplexity questions. I asked, where and who started the Rat Rod craze, or who the first Rat Rod. And I said the first Rat Rod is not definitely known. History is murky and credit is debated. The most often mentioned is Robert Williams, especially because his 1932 Ford Roadster, but that attribution was not settled fact, so it's disputed by many. The modern Rat Rod scene began in the late 80s, as I said. It says here, there's another... Give me all kinds of information I didn't need to know. So I also asked that, okay, if you were going to build a Rat Rod, what are the 10 most common body styles used for Rat Rods? I said Rat Rods are usually built from older American bodies.
Oh, there it is.
Especially pre-1950 cars and trucks because of their shape and styles. Old school parts make them easy to chop, channel, and rough up into a rebellious look. So a Ford Model A Coupe, probably one of the most common Rat Rod formations. A Ford Model A Roadster, an open top Model A body, Ford Model T Roadster, is one of the favorites because the most iconic earlier hot rod bodies works well for its lightweight, minimalist builds. Ford Model T Coupe, 32 Ford Coupe. 32,
That's mine.
that's yours?
my John.
There you go. 30T Ford Coupe is legendary hot rod body, and it shows up in rat rods because of its timeless shape and deep connection to custom car history. 32 Ford Roadster. 1930 Chevy sedan, 4-door and 2-door. I'm not sure what all these look like. 1930s Ford pickup. I could see that. 1930s Dodge or Plymouth Coupe.
Mopar. Oh shit, Mopar goes back that far.
Well, guess. 1930s and 40s panel truck and sedan delivery.
It's like a fucking delivery truck.
I have seen
A
them.
milk truck.
Yes, I have seen them like that. A lot of rat
That's
rods
awesome.
chopped and lowered because the whole point was to look apologetic, raw, mean, and unapologetically different. I talked about the channeled stance. I asked it, what about the interiors? And rat rod interiors look like they were built in the back garage with a wrench and a grudge, while hot rod interiors usually look finished, matched, and intentional. The point is, you're making what you want.
Right.
A lot of rat rods have the high shifter and the
Suicide.
suicide high shifter and the little steering wheel and the little itty bitty windows. And
Can I touch on
you touch
two
on whatever,
little points?
touch on whatever you want, as long as it's not me.
I'll do that after the show. But so I wanted to say I'm sure we can, but does this tie into bootleggers?
Oh, I don't know.
Right. So I'm sure they did. If you go back to the beginning of your episode, where they were making hot rods, they weren't necessarily hot rods, I don't think, but they would boost the engine so they could go faster. Right. And
Keep talking.
I thought that was pretty interesting. And then the other one was here, I pulled it up on my. Do motorcycles fall into this category? Because I have a perfect example of this, and it was 2005 movie The World's Fastest Indian, which highlights Burt Munro, and it was portrayed by
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Good movie. I just watched it not long
It's a
ago.
really good movie, and he basically did the same thing. He he didn't make it look like a rat rod, but he pieced together his Indian and
Oh, and the judges picked it apart. Like,
picked it apart. Like, oh, your tires are rotted. And he's like, no, they're good.
no. They said those aren't racing tires. He goes, sure they are. I took the tread off them.
Right. And they're like, what? You don't have a cap in your gas tank? He's it's a cork
Sure,
plug.
it's a cork from a brandy bottle.
Right. Yeah. And he held his own, and I think he won the fastest speed or something. Quote me on that, but
So your first question, do hot rods tie into bootleggers? And Perplexity says, yes, there is a historical connection. Hot rods and bootleggers are tied together because Prohibition era moonshine runners used modified fast cars to outrun law enforcement. And that that outlaw culture helped inspire later hot rod culture.
right, they kind of soup them up. They gut them so they can fit more booze in the back. Whatever.
In a modern sense, the connection is also used to theme in branding and events. For example, the Bowling Green's hot rods have an alternate identity called bootleggers, specifically paying tribute to Kentucky bourbon and bootlegger heritage. So the link is both historical and cultural. Bootleggers helped popularize the idea of souped up high performance cars, and hot rods later became a broader car culture label for that same speed and modification mindset.
So they're the predecessor to hot rods.
Yes.
Holy shit.
So the one thing we didn't talk about was street rods.
Right.
And a street rod basically is the same thing as a hot rod, but with a modern era car. And it's let me just double check. I'm gonna ask Perplexity again. Define street rod.
Perplexity.
I spelled define very rod wrong. No, it's not. I was wrong. I got an article. Where's this article? I think I didn't save the link. It was an article that said that hey, it might be still here. It showed the difference between hot rod, street rod, and rat rod. And it was from Hot Rod magazine, I think, in 1980 something.
See, I would say I don't know what the difference between a hot rod and street rod are, but rat rod, yes.
Hang on, I'm going to pull it up right now because it's one of the questions the follow-up questions it gave me. And I'm going to ask it. Define the difference between hot rod, street rod, and rat rod. The answer is below. Street rod, usually pre-1949 classic, updated for modern use. Except this article that I read, which is right here, shows like a 68 Mustang.
Okay.
Hot rod is typically pre-1949, early post-war, modified for performance. Oh, so the street rod is supposedly for everyday use? Yes, a daily driver. I would I think I would dispute that. Because this article said something much different. Anyway, so I guess I don't know shit about street rods.
So,
But look at that rat rod. Look at that one.
dude, that's all. It looks like a spider. It looks like a crab.
That's a 4-door, but they have diesel towers on it for exhaust. My God. It's an old truck front end for a radiator.
They almost kind of remind me of like something out of Mad Max,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So I guess the street rod is just like a nice car, like your modern Corvette. Or
See, I would not consider this one a rat rod.
no,
But the paint's too nice.
nah.
I don't know.
I mean, what is it? It's like a custom made whatever. That looks like a bootlegger's car.
It's a bootlegger.
If it had a hood on it.
If it didn't have the fucking blower on top.
Yeah, but if it was enclosed, the engine.
Anyway, so I learned a little something. I hope you guys did learn a little something too.
Go get you that 1932 Ford Coupe. Start fixing her up.
I'm going to look up what all these cars are because let me see if I can look up a 1940s panel truck rat rod.
Sedan delivery. It's like a milk truck. He best be getting away because he probably has more children in that town than he needs to have.
1940s panel truck. Rat rod. Let's see. Those are not rat rods. Let's go to images. Oh, look at that.
Oh, so dude, that looks like the freaking truck in what was that horror movie with the that flying creature?
Jeepers Creepers?
Yes. It's exactly what that is.
Look, some of these are badass, dude.
That one's pretty badass.
Oh, that one's badass.
Does she come with it?
I don't know. Can you call those shorts?
I thought she was wearing pants. I didn't see that.
There's a delivery truck with the box cut off it. That's badass. These I like.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Dude, I can look at these pictures all day long. I'll have to pull these down and throw some of these pictures up because, damn. Look at that one. That one's scraped down to bare metal and then clear coated.
And it's got some balls behind it. Am I right? They're like scraped down, but they got gas?
Oh yeah.
I've seen a few down in YMSing over the years. And it's like, holy shit.
Look at that. Those big ass wheels. Anyway, so we took on World of Rat Rods, and I'm sure there's much more to it.
Oh my God, yeah.
We're just scraping the surface
You
because
could branch out into, like I said, like the bootlegging thing,
yeah.
which would be kind of cool. Motorcycles.
Well, I think we want to cover MCs for an episode because where they started and whatnot and what they become.
Well, not only that, I mean, like, there's just not MCs. There's like, you know, the actual motorcycle itself, whatever, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm just talking not MC clubs. MCs.
Customized motorcycles.
Yeah.
Well, I know something about that because I've built two and, well, pretty much built two. I augmented two bikes from scratch. I have pictures to prove it. So we took that on. Now you guys go out there and take on the world and do it in a hot rod.